The Ghana National Fire Service says it is worried about the many instances where people are unable to escape and as a result die during fire outbreaks. With the recurrent incidents in the Ashanti region in recent weeks, the Ashanti Regional Fire Commander, ACFO1 Henry Jiwa, is calling on members of the general public to adopt new technologies where people can easily use the window of their building to escape during fire outbreaks. He believes this will help prevent incidents where people get trapped and die in buildings in case of fire outbreak. ACFO1 Henry Jiwa is thus recommending for members of the general public to adopt a technology by the Center for Settlement Studies at KNUST to prevent such avoidable deaths. He spoke to journalists in Kumasi after interacting with the initiators of the new technology.
As you may know, since last month we've had about 8 people dying out of fire outbreaks, and most of these fires or most of these deaths resulted as barricading of the burglar-proof. So we thought it wise to liaise with Tech, who has also designed something in such a way that in case of any emergency, we can easily open the window and come out so that nobody will be trapped like we've been experiencing, and we'll all be free. Normally when we attend fire incidents and we realize people are trapped and they are dead, sometimes it breaks our hearts because we rejoice so much and we find consolence in the fact that we've been able to save lives and property. But when we go and it's as if you can't do anything, it's so pathetic. And that is the essence for which we are here today, for the public to identify and be conversant with the technology that they provided, so that we can all incorporate it in our buildings, so that in case of any emergency, we can easily access and come out safely without even any assistance from outside. I don't think it's too difficult to incorporate this, even if you've already installed yours. When you get in touch with them and with a good burglar-proof molder, you'll be able to do this easily. For now, we want to showcase what they've designed. And then the next step is we want them to liaise or organize some of these artisans to also be conversant with this technology, so that when they are providing, they provide the right thing, so that everybody will be safe.
On his part, the head of the Center for Settlement Studies at KNUST, Professor Divine Ahaji, stated that his outfit is well placed to develop more for the Ghanaian populace.
I think this is something that now, as a nation, we need to take critically, and we are happy that the Ghana National Fire Service has come to endorse our technology, and we are seriously going to partner them, as has been suggested, to get this into the public. And also, as he said, we are beginning to put in a plan to engage the artisans so that we will expose the technology to them, and then the government and the assembly, as he mentions, must also now come in, because the law already exists to mandatory ensure that putting this into houses becomes a mandatory exercise for all of us, and then we will begin to have a very holistic system of managing the fire system in the country. As you know, as a public institution, also a research institution, production is not necessarily our mandate, but we make the effort. If people come on individual basis, we have the means to manufacture for them. But I think we are looking for the large-scale situation, and I think that is where the university and the management have even been saying always that we need industry to come and partner us to be able to carry this thing to the larger society. You know, and I think this is a good opportunity for the public and the industry to know that this technology exists, which can help all of us to fight fire in the appropriate way.
The Ghana National Fire Service says it will continue to sensitize the public on the need to be fire safety conscious when putting up buildings. ACFO1 Henry Jiwa, however, says since it is mandated by law for the practice to be adhered to, the Ghana National Fire Service will soon begin enforcement for all building owners in the region to comply.
Per the building regulations, all buildings are supposed to have these escape routes. And you bear with me that most of these are domestic buildings, do not have them. And just because they also don't come for fire certificates and even bring their plans for us to advise them as to what to do. So I also crave the indulgence of the assemblies to also ensure that before they give the building permit, they should ensure that some of these things are incorporated in the building plan. Definitely we have plans of enforcing it. Now that it is becoming more prominent and more rampant, I think we will have to make sure we whip up public enthusiasm and then ensure we enforce it.
The officers from the Ghana National Fire Service are hopeful that once this technology is adopted by members of the general public, we'll be able to prevent incidents where people get trapped in their homes and die in the process. For Citi News, I'm Edward Oponmafo, Kumasi.